Hey coin collectors! Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 50 cents coin from New Zealand from the year 1967, New Zealand's first decimalization coin. And that's it right in the center. We can see it right there. And we have a number of other coins we're going to kind of look at. Do you see in the periphery? And then, of course, there's my pen down there at the bottom, my pointing pen. So let's start with this coin here, which is Queen Elizabeth II, facing to the right. This is an Arnold Machen engraving here, and she's Queen Elizabeth II is wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. I believe Queen Elizabeth II is 39 years old in this portrait. So at the back it says Elizabeth II, at the front it says New Zealand, and down here at the bottom it says 1967. If we look at this, has an interesting edge, and you don't see this in too many coins, and that is it has what's called an interrupted reeded or segmented reeded edge to it. So there's some flats, and then there's some lines, and then there's some flats, and there's some lines. Sometimes they call this a milled edge also. And so when we look at the edge of this, we can also see that it's a copper nickel coin, big heavy coin, 13.61 grams. If we turn it over, we see it has the Endeavour on the back. Captain James Cook's ship, the Endeavour. It says 50 here, and then down here it says Endeavour. And let's see if we can magnify both of those. So the 50 here is up near the mast, and you see it's a three-masted ship. And down here we see it says Endeavour, and see how that R kind of tails off a little bit there. And then if we look way back here, we see that there's something in the rocks on the land, and that is a J and a B, and that is for George James Barry, and that's B-E-R-R-Y. George James Barry was the engraver of this coin, and so his initials are back here on the land. If we go and look at the ship, we just see the incredible detail, even on this worn and circulated coin, the masts and the sails, and we go way up to the top and we see the banners flying and of course the flag. Now this coin came out in 1967 when New Zealand switched to decimalization, and it kind of changed everything. So what was before it? Well, here's one of the coins before it, and this is a really cool coin. Look at this one here. It says Queen Elizabeth II. So it doesn't have all the different stuff on there. It doesn't say Brit Om, or it doesn't say Diagra or any of the stuff like the UK coins. It says it doesn't say QE2. Notice how this coin, when we get to the 50 cents, it doesn't even say Queen on it. It just says Elizabeth II, like most of the other Commonwealth countries. Queen Elizabeth second, and then the cross here. We see it has a beaded outer rim. Can anybody remember what the value of this coin was? There it is. It's the 1 florin or 2 shillings coin from 1964. So this replaced this in a sense. Not that 2 shillings was exactly half of a pound, but these coins essentially, this one was gone once this one became used. And there it is, just a great coin too. The old florin or chat, the old florin or 2 shillings coin. And I just love this coin. And of course, we see back here, we have the engraver's initials. And this, of course, is a funny one because this is the George Kruger Gray one, who did some of the Canadian coins and many of the other coins from around the world. There's a KG. All right, what other coins came out? Well, in 1967, they also came out with a 20-cent coin, and this is that 20-cent coin with the kiwi bird on the back and the fern here. And again, this is a reeded or not a segmented reeded edge, but just a straight reeded all the way around. And again, it has Queen Elizabeth II on it. Again, if we look way down in, we can see in growing at the root of the grasses is the JB, because of course George James Barry did the engraving for this coin also. Now, if you're going to look at the coins, what happened between 1964 and 1967 is New Zealand embraced the dollar. So when they went from the florin, it was a New Zealand pound coin. Then they went to the 20 cents and 50 cents of the New Zealand dollar coin. So let's just take a look at those. Oh, and we should also look at one of the older coins from New Zealand, just to throw it in there. And this is an old 1 shilling. So 1 shilling, 2 shillings meant 1 florin. And so this is an older New Zealand 1 shilling coin. And it shows, I believe, a Maori warrior on here, 1947. And this one has Queen Elizabeth II's dad, George VI. This is the post-war. And look what this one says on it, George VI, King Emperor. So see how this one says Queen Elizabeth II, that she's Queen Elizabeth II, but she's not Empress. And that's because in 1948, India gained its independence from the United Kingdom. And so prior to 1948, the kings and queens were either the Empress, Emperor, or Imperator of India. In 1948, when India gained its independence, they took the emperor off. And if we look at the ones after 1947, we see that it doesn't say emperor on them anymore. And that's pretty much all we have. Let's get right back to the coin at hand. One of the things that you can that I want to show you on this one is these segmented reeded edges actually come onto the rim. So from the top, you can actually see the dents in it when they made this first one. See how it dented as it went around? So when you see these dents in it, that's not something that happened to the coin post-mint. This is mint damage, but it's not really damage because it's dented, because that's where they put the segmented reeded or milled rims in. It hit so hard that it kind of pops it a little bit. You can see if we follow it through, the pops go right up to here. Are there any valuable ones? If you have a 50 cents coin from 1967 that has anything above the 1 here, they call it the dotted one, and that's not a dot there. If it's a dotted one, you'll know it. There'll be a big dot right above the 1. And then there's another one which has a dotted I on it. Those are the coins that have some value to them. The dotted I actually comes right here after the I. So if you look those up, the ones with the dotted I and the ones with the dot over the 1, those are much more valuable coins. This coin here, even though it's a 1967, and even though it's been demonetized, it has very little value. Why does it have very little value? Because they printed 10 million on the first run. Remember, they're trying to change it from the pound to the dollar, so they wanted to have as much money as possible available. And so 10 million of these were printed. They have very little value now. In this shape, it's probably worth 75 cents to $1. In uncirculated shape, it may only be worth a couple dollars. So not a hugely valuable coin. If you have it uncirculated, unless you have it in the mint set, this coin is not going to be of much value. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section. And here, one last look at all those coins. And let's take a look at the florin on the back. And the shilling on the back and the florin. Let's get the florin out. Come on, lady. Right there. All right. There we go. That's it from our New Zealand coins from 1967.